Greetings, this is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central this evening with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. Coming at you live and direct. So, you know what time it is. I don't have to give you a quiz because you're already a big whiz and you know just what to do. If you're watching on the Facebook, give us a like. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And then go ahead and spread the word far and wide because we don't want to hide. We just want to put a little more glide in your stride and a little more pride in your hide. Absolutely. Think about that one for a while. See how it fares. Meanwhile, let's see what words of wisdom we have from old Marcus Garvey. See what kind of axiom he has for us today. I'm sure he must have something for us today. Yeah. All right, so here we go. The world has now reached the stage when humanity is really at the parting of the ways. It is a question of man, mind thyself. The world has now reached the stage when humanity is really at the parting of the ways. It is a question of man, mind thyself. And those are our words of the day from the mind and the lips of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. As we've been doing for the last few nights here, we're going to continue to do our reading and try not to do too much pleading from our book right here. Blake, the Huts of America. Blake or the Huts of America by Martin R. Delaney. Okay, so the good doctor is going to give us a few words of wisdom here. Few words of wisdom. Always good to get some words of wisdom from the doctor. And let's see where we left off at last night. See, just where did we leave off at last night? If I can find or get to the page. There we go. Here we go. Oh, all right. We left off on Lucky number 7, chapter number 7, entitled Master and Slave. Right, so you already know this is going to be a deep one right here. Chapter 7, Master and Slave, from Blake or Huts of the Americas. No, Huts of America, excuse me. Early on Tuesday morning, in obedience to his master's orders, Henry was on his way to, there we go. Henry was on his way to the city to get the house in readiness for the reception of his mistress, Mrs. Franks, having improved in 3 or 4 days. Mammy Judy had not yet risen when he knocked at the door. "Hi, Henry. You here ready? How come you get up so soon? Added some mischief, I reckon. Don't reckon you're after any good," saluted Mammy Judy. "Naw, Mammy," replied he, "no mischief, but like a good slave, such as you wish me to be, come to obey my master's will, just what you like to see." "Sure, boy. None of your nonsense. How come I want you by my Stephen? Get that nonsense in your head last night long, so I reckon. What that you going to do now?" "I have come to dust and air the mansion for their reception. They have sold my wife away from me, and who else would do her work?" This reply excited the apprehension of Mammy Judy. "What you going to do, Henry? You're after no good. You ain't going to tack Ma Stephen, is you?" "What do you mean, Mammy? Strike him? Yes, reckon you ain't gonna hit him. Curse. Henry, Henry, remember what you fess. For the Lord's sake, you ain't gonna take to swearing, interrupted the old woman. I make no profession, mammy. I once did believe in religion, but now I have no confidence in it whatsoever. My faith has been wrecked on the stony hearts of such pretended Christians as Stephen Franks, while passing through the stormy sea of trouble and oppression. And, hey boy, you's getting high. You call Master Stephen? Yes, and I'll never call him master again except when compelled to do so. Better go along, tend to better go along, tend to the house, for white folks come. And never mind talking about fighting long with my Stephen. What you gonna do with white folks? Show. I don't intend to fight him, Mammy Judy, but I'll attack him concerning my wife, if the words be my last. Yes, I'll. And pressing his lips to suppress the words, the outraged man turned away from the old slave mother with such feelings as only an intelligent slave could realize. The orders of the morning were barely executed when the carriage came to the door. The bright eyes of the footboy Tony sparkled when he saw Henry approaching the carriage. Well, Henry, ready for us? Inquired his master. Yes, sir, was the simple reply, mistress. He saluted, politely bowing as he took her hand to assist her from the carriage. Come, Henry, my man, get out the riding horses, ordered Franks after a little rest. Yes, sir. A horse for the colonel and lady each was soon in readiness at the door, but none for himself, it always having been the custom in their morning rides for the maid and manservant to accompany the Mr. and Master. Ready, did you say? Inquired Franks on seeing but two horses standing at the stile. Yes, sir. Where's the other horse? What for, sir? What for? Yourself, to be sure. Colonel Franks, said Henry, looking him sternly in the face, when I last rode that horse in company with you and lady, my wife was at my side. I will not now go without her. Pardon me, my life for it, I won't go. Not another word, you black imp, exclaimed Franks with an uplifted staff in a rage, or I'll strike you down in an instant. Strike away, if you will, sir. I don't care. I won't go without my wife. You impudent scoundrel, I'll soon put it into your conduct. I'll put you on the auction block and I'll sell you to the Negro traders. Just as soon as you please, sir, the sooner the better. As I don't want to live without you, or I don't want to live with you any longer. Hold your tongue, sir, or I'll cut it out of your head. You ungrateful black dog. Really, things have come to a pretty pass when I must take impudence off my own Negro. By gracious God, forgive me for the expression, I'll sell every Negro I have first. I'll dispose of them to the hardest Negro trader I can find, said Franks in an absolute rage. You may do your mightiest, Colonel Franks, but I'm not your slave, nor never was, and you know it. And but for my wife and her people, I never would have stayed with you till now. I was decoyed away when young, and then became entangled in such domestic relations as to induce me to remain with you. But now the tie is broken. I know that the odds are against me, but never mind. Do you threaten me, sir? Hold your tongue, or I'll take your life instantly, you villain. No, sir, I don't threaten you, Colonel Franks, but I do say that I won't be treated like a dog. You sold my wife away from me after always promising that she should be free. And more than that, you sold her and now you talk about whipping me, shoot me, sell me, or do anything else you please, but don't lay your hands on me, as I will not suffer you to whip me. Running up to his chamber, Colonel Frank seized a revolver. When Mrs. Franks, grasping hold of his arm, exclaimed, "Colonel, what does all this mean?" "Mean, my dear? It's rebellion, a plot. This is but the shadow of a cloud that's fast gathering around us. I see it plainly, I see it plainly," responded the colonel, starting for the stairs. "Stop, Colonel," admonished his lady. "I hope you'll not be rash, for heaven's sake. Do not stain your hands in blood." "I do not mean to, my dear. I take this for protection." Franks hastening downstairs when Henry had gone into the back part of the premises. There now," exclaimed Mammy Judy as Henry entered the kitchen. "See what this going back done for you? Better put your trust in the Lord, Henry. You're gone clean back to the world again. You knows it." "You're mistaken, Mammy. I do trust the Lord as much as ever, but I now understand him better than I used to, that's all. I don't intend to be made a fool of any longer by false preaching." "Henry," interrogated Daddy Joe, who, apprehending difficulties in the case, had managed to get back to the house. "You're going to lose all your religion? What you mean, boy?" "Religion," replied Henry rebukingly. "That's always the cry with black folks. Tell me nothing about some daggone religion when the very man who hands you the bread at communion has sold your daughter away from you. Then you fin God, cause man fin you. Oh, then you offend God, cause man fin you. Take care, Henry. Take care. Mind what you're about. God is looking at you, and if you're no willing, trust him. You needn't call on him in time of trouble. I don't intend, unless he does more for me than he has done before. Oh, unless he does more for me then than he has done before. Time of need, if ever man needed his assistance, I'm sure I need it now. You don't know what you need. The Lord knows best. Only trust in him, and he bring you out more than a conquer. Oh, and he bring you out more than a conquer. I don't understand how that sentence goes, but okay. By the help of God, I's here this day to give you comfort. I have trusted in him, Daddy Joe, all my life, as I told Mammy Judy this morning. But, boy, you's going back. That don't do, Henry. That don't do. Going back from what? My oppressor's religion? If I could only get rid of his afflictions as easily as I can his religion, I would be this day a free man, when you might then talk to me about trusting. This, Henry, and one of the ways of the Lord. He first flicks us and then he blesses us. Then it's a way I don't like. How about that? Mind how you talk, boy. God moves in a mustest way. His wonders to perform. And he moves too slow for me, Daddy Joe. I'm tired waiting so. Come, Henry. I have no such talk like that. You's getting real weak. You gonna let the devil take full session on you? Take care, boy. Mind how you talk. It is not wickedness, Daddy Joe. You don't understand these things at all. If 1,000 years with us is but a day with God, do you think that I'm required to wait all that time? Come on now. Don't, Henry, don't. Do what say, stand still and see the salvation. That's no talk for me, Daddy Joe. I've been standing still long enough. I'll stand still no longer. Then you know call to bear God's word. Take care, boy. Take care. Yes, I have. I do intend to obey. But that part was intended for the Jews, a people long since dead. I'll obey that intended for me. How you going to obey it? Now is the accepted time. Today is the day of salvation. So you see, Daddy Joe, this is very different to standing still. Ah, boy, I fear you're losing your religion. I tell you once for all, Daddy Joe, that I'm not losing, but I have altogether lost my faith in the religion of my oppressors, as they are our religious teachers. My estimate of the thing they give us is no greater than it is for those who give it. With elbows upon his knees and face resting in the palms of his hands, Daddy Joe for some time sat with his eyes steadily fixed on the floor, whilst Alice, who for a part of the time had been an auditor to the conversation, went into the house about her domestic duties. Never mind, Henry. I hope it will not always be so with you. You have been kind and faithful to me and the Colonel, and I'll do anything I can for you, sympathetically said Mrs. Franks, who, having been a concealed spectator of the interview between Henry and the old people, had just appeared before them, wiping away the emblems of grief which stole down his face. With a deep-toned voice, gushing from the recesses of a more than iron-pierced soul, he inquired, "Madam, what can you do? Where is my wife?" To this, Mrs. Franks gave a deep sigh. Never mind, continued he. Yes, I will mind and buy. And we're going to end right about there. And we'll pick this up on a new day or new night, tomorrow night. We'll pick this up and finish off that chapter and move on a little bit further in this interestingly written novel, Blake or the Huts of America. Blake or the Huts of America, which if you're watching on Facebook, you'll see the cover of the book. Well, you just saw the cover of the book was up there on the screen. Okay? So, Blake or the Huts of America. And as you can see, the story moves along at a pretty good clip. So, it's not real boring, etc. Because we now have this conflict between Henry and Massa over whether or not Henry is a slave of Massa's or not. Because Henry says he ain't. And he ain't having it no more. And he's done with all this shuffling and bowing and scraping stuff. He's ready to stand up for himself. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. So, meanwhile, as for you all out there in tubular black facts land, you know what we need you to do right now. We need all you little people to take your hands and put them together while you lay your little head on your little pillow on your little bed. Close those your eyes and wait on that sun to rise. And when you feel those sunbeams beaming down on your eyes, you'll know that it's time for you to rise and shine. Oh, chillin' of mine. And in the meantime, for the adults out there, you know what we need you to do. Number one, give us a like. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, and then go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel. You see the button right below? Give it a lick one time. It won't hurt. It'll be quick. It'll be painless. And it will help you out without a doubt, because next time we're on, you won't have to worry about if we're on or not on, we're behind schedule or ahead of schedule, you'll be on when we're on. In the meanwhile, peace out. Without a doubt, we'll be back tomorrow at noon, continuing to read more speeches from His Right Excellent and Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. In the meanwhile, peace at least from the beast here in the east. That's right. Doc Ock signing out and giving a wave to, I see Solomon over there and Tony too. All right. Oh, I'm getting thumbs up tonight. Okay. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. And in the meanwhile, we're going to our extro. Peace out without a doubt. With justice, of course. Nothing less but the best for all of y'all.